Something that happened in the development of the internet. Um, Prior to the internet, people were living out their lives. They were obviously things were very different before the internet. People regularly interacted face to face, and people were interested in ways, or at least there was a segment of the population interested in improving their lives in any way. They're trying to be happier. They're trying to um, you know make themselves more content. And there were a lot of self-help books in the 1990s. In the 2000s, this went on the internet. You had self-help, ebooks. They're in PDF format. You had websites. You had like philosophic systems that were being promoted. And this is before there was any mass censorship. So you can go to Google and you can type in, how do I do this? How do I do that? And you'd have all kinds of interesting information. This was really the golden age of the internet in many ways. Right about 2010 to 2012, give or take around that time, the internet really changed when there were smartphones being introduced, and you started having, the wide adoption of social media. There was social media before that. There was YouTube, there was MySpace, there was Facebook, but now you had Instagram, you had Twitter, you had these other platforms where the internet was no longer, and now obviously the censorship became more ramped up too, and of course it's even more so after about 2017. But starting in about 2010, 2012, you had more censorship. So Google started to alter search results. Even back then, they were doing that. And the internet really changed. It changed the dynamic. It wasn't self-help, it was influencers. And, it really worked very differently. So, now you get these TikTok people. And really, it's actually very shallow too. I mean, back in the 2000s, it was more in depth. It was you didn't have these short little videos. You had long text formats, or you had to do a lot of reading through. There was more thinking involved. The internet was more focused on the transmission of information. I mean, yes, there was some entertainment there. Today, the internet is far more entertainment than about learning. One could even argue that the internet in its present form may even be more destructive, at least certainly more destructive compared to the internet of 15 years ago. So the problem with these influencers is that because of the format, because it's this short, low attention span format, you don't get the rationality. You get clickbait, you get entertainment. Now you're just appealing to the masses. And what people really need, and what they actually want, is they need rationality. Okay, something that will help them to improve their life, right? So, someone who can explain things rationally, and yes, that does exist, and yes, they're popular. But there's not enough of it. There's still a lot of vapid and a lot of shallowness out there too. So, we're in the age of the influencer. For better or worse, it is what it is. Now people get to lead by example, and one of my goals, and I put myself in front of a camera because I'm trying to train myself to talk in front of a camera. But, one of my goals is that I want to try to explain current events in a logical, rational perspective. Try to see things exactly the way they are. I have my own take about current events also. I'm well aware of the different viewpoints, but anyway, that's what I'm trying to provide. And hopefully this is of value. And I'm obviously I'm going to try to get better and better at that. But you can't expect an audience to care more about you than you care about your audience. But anyway, this is the age of the influencer. And my goal is to influence people to be more rational, to think more rational when applied to politics or their personal lives.